What's going on, guys? It's been a minute since I've made a video. It's almost been 3 months since I've uploaded a video to this channel. As you guys can see, the reef is still alive and pretty well. I will tell you what's happened in the last almost 3 months. In 1 week time, it'll be 5 months. So this is going to be a 5-month update. Let's first take a look at what the 20-gallon Acropora dominated reef looks like in its current state. The first thing you'll notice is the torch corals have gotten a lot bigger. They have pretty much doubled in size. They have split heads already, or mouths, whatever you want to call them. I call them mouths, but most of you guys know them as heads. The dragon soul, which is the bottom one, is now 2 mouths, and the top one I think is almost 3 mouths. It's this one up here in the back is a New York Knicks gold torch. I got it from Queen City Corals. They're doing phenomenal, despite some of the mishaps that have happened since. This little hammer coral is doing well. It hasn't split or anything, or I think it's starting to split, but I don't really pay too much attention. One thing you'll notice is that this Acanthophilia is pretty much doubled in size, at least in puffiness. I'm thinking I'm going to have to scoot it over a little bit towards the left because it's starting to rub on the rocks. I kind of think it's happy there, so I might leave it. I still haven't decided. These guys are kind of known to be, like, they want to be in close proximity to stuff. They like to feel like they're touching on something. In the wild, you'll find like a bunch of them laying right next to each other, and they kind of form clusters. But as you guys can see, the LPS is doing phenomenal. This little piece of Blastomusa LPS over here. Let me see if I can get, oh, that looks terrible. Let's see if I can get, there is a little baby there. There's actually more than just one. There's about 6 new mouths that are forming. So that one's soon going to be a mini colony, probably in another month or two. Now, the other LPS in here is this guy here. I don't remember what it is. It's some kind of one of the weird LPS corals. It's really hard to see and pick up because it's so dark, but it looks more red and green than on screen. It looks more black and green. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the LPS. The tank is in overall decent health. There was a little bit of receding. We have lost 4 corals. All of them were Acroporas. I'll tell you guys why in a minute. But the SPS is doing really well. As you guys can see, colorful. This Montipora has been encrusting. It's now found its way into the rocks. And then this goldenrod and Acropora faded a little bit. It was kind of getting shadowed out by the algae, which, as you guys can see, there's a lot more algae in here now. Everything else pretty much is pretty good. This guy kind of lost a little bit of color. This guy right here in the front. The guy back there, I think it's called, what is it called? It's called, I forget the name, but this one back here, I don't even think it's the name that they sold it to me as. I think it's just a different one. But that one is growing really well. It's gotten really big. That one's never shown any signs of receding or burnt tips or anything. This one here is struggling. As you guys can see, there's some recession there in the base, and there's a little bit of burnt tips. This one here, it's Putang Reef's Sea Lover. It's never shown any signs of, it's super hardy. That thing's bulletproof, like nothing ever affects it. This guy back here has turned a blue base with green polyps, which is pretty interesting. This one turned from purple to green. This one is Battle Corals Backdraft the Movie. Used to be like a reddish purple, now it's green. This one back here did a little bit of reseeding. The good old Acropora here doing really well. And then back there we have a little piece of Poto Flamethrower, which is now finally getting its red color back. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the way things are right now. We did lose the female Harlequin shrimp. We only have the male Harlequin shrimp now. I am going to be replacing the female here pretty soon. That way he's not lonely. I still continue to feed him once a month a chocolate chip starfish or a the red ones. I forget what they're called. I think they're called Lankius. And yeah, I've added some more snails. I've also added an emerald crab to try to get rid of the bubble algae. And now, not everything has been perfect. Like I said, I lost the female Harlequin shrimp and I lost 4 pieces of Acropora, including one really expensive one, which was Worldwide Coral's Budgie Smuggler. Very upset. I really liked it. It's like a highlighter yellow. It used to be right there. Completely gone now. It completely STN'd and then RTN'd overnight. It's bleached out white. Had to throw it out. Skeleton. And then I've lost 3 other pieces. There was a piece back there, one here, and one over here. It happens. Not everything's going to make it. The reason why I lost corals, there's 2 reasons. The reason number 1, and the biggest problem that I've had, was a very major bout of Ostreopsis dinoflagellates. So a couple of weeks ago, or actually a couple of months ago, I started seeing like a purple slime forming. I instantly knew that it was dinoflagellates. So I jumped on a Facebook page and it turned out, they told me to get a microscope. So I did, and it turned out it was Ostreopsis. It's a huge fight. That's what this piping is over here. It's basically just a tube that I ran in the display tank going into this massive 18-watt UV sterilizer. I ran it with a really, really tiny little pump. I won't show you. It's down there in the bucket. But I was basically running it at like 60 gallons per hour. I'll put the intake of the intake pump down here. And within 2 weeks, I noticed a big change. All I was doing was blowing off the rocks and just trying to blow the dinos into the water column. After about 3 weeks, it was just completely gone. But of course, Hawkins echinata, one of the corals that I lost, immediately gone because of the dinos. It just started smothering everything. And it also started messing with the Worldwide Coral's Budgie Smuggler. Took him out a couple weeks after the dinos were gone. It still didn't make it. It was just too far gone. So I think I'm going to be replacing him, the Budgie Smuggler, but with a bigger piece. And then I'm not going to do echinata anymore. I'll probably do like another piece of, I might just leave it. I might just get the Budgie Smuggler and leave everything else because it's already pretty crowded in there. Surprised that Poto Flamethrower made it. I honestly thought it was going to be a finicky coral and it would die, but so far so good. Other than the massive amount of dinos that almost wiped out the entire tank. Oh, let me talk about that real quick. If you're following my method, my secret is that I use the moonshiners. That's why the tank looks so colorful. I do moonshiners. You can look it up. I'm not going to talk about it because there's a lot of information out there. Just type in moonshiners method. You'll find tons of info. Highly recommend it. I honestly would never reef without moonshiners ever again. Like after doing it, there's no way. So because I was doing moonshiners and it's such a small volume of water and I'm running really, really high demand corals, like tons of acroporas, my phosphates were getting sucked out of the water. Most reefers struggle with alkalinity issues. I was more worried about phosphate bottoming out. And I knew it was coming, and it did. Bottomed out the phosphates. That's how we got the dinos. Basically, the tank was growing too fast. It was sucking. It was very, very efficient because of moonshiners. And what ended up happening was I couldn't keep up with, I should have been dosing phosphate on a doser, but I was doing it manually. And unfortunately, I didn't dose enough like one night, and boom, the next day, dinos, boom, it was quick. So right now, I'm keeping a really close eye on phosphate. I'm thinking about doing manual phosphate feedings, like on a doser. So if you do my method, yes, you should watch your alkalinity, but if you're gonna go this route, if you're planning on doing like a 20-gallon Acropora tank, keep a very, very close eye on nitrate and phosphate, especially phosphate. In my experience, phosphate gets sucked up so quick that alkalinity will be the least of your worries. You do not want that phosphate to hit zeros for more than 6 hours, because if it does, you're going to have a very serious problem. You're going to get dinoflagellates, and that could potentially kick you out of the hobby. It almost kicked me out of the hobby. It was the most stressful week that I've ever had in my entire life, having dinoflagellates. And I've been through a lot of stuff in life, but that was one of the most stressful weeks. It wasn't the hardest, but it was the most stressful. I was also dealing with a dog that we rescued that needed a heart surgery, he needed PDA, ligation surgery. So having a dog needing heart surgery and then dinoflagellates all in the same week, plus having to work and having 2 kids, let me tell you, not for the faint of heart. So remember to keep an eye on your phosphate. Now, I didn't lose all the other corals because of the phosphate. I also had some alkalinity issues. So my alkalinity was slowly, I had a hard time keeping it up because the demand was so low. Oh, by the way, I stopped dosing Kalkwasser. So this is now only on 2-part. It's on a Kamoer pump doing the BRS sodium bicarbonate. And I use a what is it called? CO2 scrubber to raise the pH. So it's worked okay. Honestly, Kalkwasser makes your corals grow like weeds, but it's very dangerous. You're riding a very thin line, so I decided just to stop dosing Kalkwasser. I kind of want to go back, but like I said, it's very dangerous. It's very difficult. It's a very, very fine line. So if you want your corals to grow really fast, do Kalkwasser, but just be very, very vigilant and know that you're going to have a ton of work. You're going to have to be constantly cleaning out the Kalkwasser container, and you got to keep a very close eye on your pH and on your alkalinity, and especially on the phosphate. I think the Kalkwasser made it even worse. Moonshiners plus Kalkwasser was making this tank grow really, really, really fast. And even at low alkalinity, it was only like at 8.5. So the combination of Moonshiners plus Kalkwasser just made it really unstable, and that phosphate bottoms out so freaking quick. You got to be dosing like 10 mils in 20 gallons of the Neo Phos by Brightwell, and every single day. So I don't recommend it. So right now we went back to 2-part BRS 2-part. Very simple stuff. It's on a Kamoer, but my alkalinity was dropping. It was down to like 5.6 at one point, and I could not get it up. I had to start dosing like 35 mLs. I kid you not, 35 mLs. So it would slowly, over the course of 2 weeks, come back up to 8. Unfortunately, I got lazy and it shot up to 11. So I ended up burning the tips on some of the corals, which is why there is some recession there. This guy has a little bit of burnt tips, and so does this guy here. Right now, I dialed it down. I'm starting to get it back under control, trying to get back to 8.5. I should be able to keep it really steady now once I find the maintenance dose on the Kamoer. But this just goes to show, you guys are probably wondering, this kid is coming in doing a really difficult thing, trying to have a 20-gallon box of water with Acroporas, doing Moonshiners and Kalkwasser. Like, that is super risky, and most people would not even dare to try that. But here we are having success. I attribute it to Moonshiners. I don't think this would be possible without Moonshiners. And I'm not just doing that to try to sell you something, because I'm not a salesman and I have nothing to sell you. I'm just a hobbyist like anybody else. I'm a beginner hobbyist at that. I have no idea what I'm doing. Not for the faint of heart, but it's doable. And this is proof. This is almost 5 months in. We've had 4 coral losses, even though we've had dinoflagellates, alkalinity swings. Right now, as you can see, it's hard to see it, but let me try to show you guys. There is a ton of algae. there is a whole bunch of green hair algae. I mean, look at the, let's see if I can, this camera thing sucks. Look at this guy. This is Snail. He's got a ton of algae on him. Like, I got some really, really gnarly freaking algae in here. So now I have an algae issue. First, it was a dino issue with alkalinity issues, phosphate bottoming out issues. Got that under control, and now there's a ton of algae. My phosphate is always like at 0.05, even though I dose every day, and nitrates are a little elevated at 20. I'm trying to slowly bring those back down. I'm hoping that gets the algae under control. If it doesn't, do you guys have any recommendations for some kind of invertebrate that I can add in here to eat the green hair algae? And please don't tell me trochus snails. They don't eat green hair algae, not the long stuff. I need something like, I don't know, I'm thinking of tuxedo urchin, but I'm going to have to re-glue everything because that thing will just pummel this tank and everything will be rearranged. I was also thinking of getting an abalone, but they're so hard to source. If anybody's selling abalones or is willing to trade me one or sell me one and ship it to me, please message me. I will gladly buy your tropical abalones and get rid of all this green hair crap that's everywhere. I won't lie, guys, it's been a very difficult 5 months. I do maintenance on this tank every single day. I have to do auto top off. I have to do water inside the canister for the CO2 scrubber. I have to constantly test phosphate because I'm scared of getting dinos again. I keep the UV sterilizer attached, just ready to be dropped back in case the dinos ever come back. By the way, that was a very expensive $300 just to get rid of dinos. My wife wasn't happy about it. Yeah, it's been very tough. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and say that this has been an easy thing. No, it's been very difficult. But we're getting it done. We're going to continue on. I know there's some people out there in the reefing world who probably thought I failed and I'm a miserable human being, but I'm not. I'm happy, very happy. And I know some of you are happy for me. So thank you so much for being happy for me. If you have any questions, I answer all the comments. Just drop them down below. If you want to connect with somebody that is doing this and you are thinking of doing the same thing as a challenge, feel free to message me. You can even DM me on Instagram. My ad is my barber page, but it's at roaring, like a lion, roaring Eddie, at roaring Eddie, one word, no spaces, at roaring Eddie. So yeah, message me, guys. I would love to share my experiences with other fellow reefers. And if you guys have any recommendations for the green hair algae, please comment. Let me know what you recommend. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.